Welcome back to Greenwich Valley for episode 8 with me, MrSealyp. It's 6 minutes past 6. I haven't had much sleep, but that's okay. But we've got a lot to do today. Another busy day. I just want to look at this. Look, get away from the B&B a little bit across the road. Look at that. Love it. I'm standing in the middle of the road. Actually, that's probably not a sensible idea, is it? Right, down to the yard. I've got some repair, maintenance. Checking oil and water and greasing up all the grease circs and everything, all the bits that need to be done before we get going. After we did the first harvest we did on the farm, in the bushes, when we first arrived to clear the fields, I don't kind of count. I mean, it was a harvest at the end of the day. This is our first proper harvest. It's all soybeans. Yeah, just trying to think. The harvester got cleaned off when we finished with it, but again, it all just needs going over. This absolutely needs sorting out, because we just kind of left it last night, which is understandable in a way. Give that a clean off. We'll give that a bit of a going over, make sure everything's good. I really am considering, investing in a larger trailer. No, I mean not massive, like just like a 20,000 litre one, 21, 22, something like that. Just to give us a bit more oomph when we're transporting. Again, just to take the pressure off a little bit. We could lease again, but I don't want to just end up with everything leased. If the farm is going to continue after we clear the debt, it needs to have equipment it can use to carry on. There's absolutely nothing wrong with leasing, but it's a continual thing then, isn't it? It's difficult to get out. There's no difference like renting. If you're renting a property, to get out of that renting cycle becomes incredibly hard. Yep, bit of repair. And we should be good to go for the day. So what I'll do is just bring that out. We'll start our home fields. Ooh. Like I say, I've got some more maintenance to do, so I'll get the maintenance done first. Hopefully we'll have a bit more light by then. But we need to be up with the larks to get all this done. Oh, that was a thing, yeah, before I forget. We need to pay off a big chunk of the loan, don't we? That was the whole point, isn't it? So, let's go into our finances. And we're going to pay off another 500,000. Oops. I think I paid off 5 grand more than I meant to. Never mind. 505,000, $500,000. Isn't it weird how when you change certain parameters, if you change the style of game a little bit, change the way you do your farming. Normally when I'm doing a farm, I'm building up to making my first million. That first milestone, making $1 million. Sometimes you get there, sometimes you blast past it, no problem at all. Because we're clearing a debt, I'm trying to clear the first $1 million. I suppose it's technically the same thing. You're making $1 million, but one's going one way, one's going the other. So it's weird how I'm trying to clear $1 million off. We've almost broken the $1 million barrier. So what I'm hoping is that with the soybean harvest today, we should be right. Now, as far as prices go for soybeans, we are looking at where's the best price? Where's the best price? There, Linton Mill. They pay out really well for a lot of stuff. 1663 for 1,000 litres of soybeans. So that's where it's going to be going to. Like I say, do we try and decide? I mean, technically that doesn't belong to me. That belongs to Debbie, doesn't it? We just converted it over to put into trailer configuration. So I suppose if we do buy one, we can convert that back for Debbie, so she can use that for her baling for the sheep, maybe. I think we do need to, don't we? Right, I'm going to get the harvester sorted out, and then once I can get the harvester going, we'll whiz off and we'll don't wait, we'll be doing something with those, and we're going to be doing something with hay bales too. See, nice and clean. We cleaned it all off when we put it away, but it does need just checking over. Check the header, make sure everything's good on there, make sure nothing's broken, everything's greased, no bearings are wobbling. You have to be careful because sometimes where the bearings are, you can get like baler twine and various things, they can get wrapped up around there and it can make a real mess. So anyway, I'll see you in a bit when it's a little bit lighter, and hopefully we've done any repair work we need to on this. And the header, of course. A lot of people have actually said that I should be getting rid of this. Hang on a minute, that seems a bit low. There we go. That I should get rid of this because it's an expensive harvester. Bizarrely enough, it's not an expensive harvester. It looks like an expensive harvester. If we go into the local store brochure, it's one of the reasons why I think the farm had it. If you look at the prices of these, the Nova's 105 grand, the MT Activa's 202. And we could go right down to a tiny like the Bison Super, but that's going to be counterproductive because of the size of the tank, and we're not going to gain anything by going smaller. If we go further up to this one, it's only 228,000. I mean, to be fair, look at that. If you go for a John Deere S7, wow. Yeah, I mean, we could get one of those for 216. Is that right? Blimey, that's big as well. So we could actually go up a grade. Yeah, so, I mean, when you look at the price, 228 grand, compared to these, some of the 480, 348, the Dominator's 139. Actually, that's pretty cheap, 139. So I suppose we have got a bit of money tied up in it, but not as much as I think people thought. So anyway, harvesting, I've got to get going. Got a lot to get done. We need to make more money. Okay, repair work done. As you've already seen, Debbie is out in the field already. We've got a couple of fertilising contracts as a farm estate, I guess. She's cracking on with that. Rob is over at the sheep farm at the moment, has just cleaned out the animals, the pigs, and I think has moved over to clean out the sheep for Debbie because Debbie's doing the fertilising. So everyone's mucking in. Or mucking out, whichever way you want to look at it. We're going to crack on with this. Try and make as much money as we can. We're kind of looking at trailers, and I can't really make my mind up at the moment. I need to speak to Mick and Stuart and see what they think. Like I say, it's an investment. I can't make the investment without their kind of nod, you know. It's just the way it is. Right, header out. No swath off this, so we haven't got to worry about collecting anything. It's just harvesting. Farming. So let's get that on. And let's get rocking and rolling. Hopefully the yield will be good. The fields were ploughed. 2 fertilising states. We didn't lime. But it's kind of as good as we could get, so the yield should be pretty good. Price is good, so again, I'm hoping off the 4 fields we'll clear 100,000. Hoping. I don't know if we will, but we can certainly try. suppose the gauge will be off this first field. We'll see what we get. Then we can kind of look at the size of the other fields and kind of extrapolate where we're going to be. I'm just thinking we haven't even done half a round and we're up to almost 1,000 litres already. We're going to need a trailer fairly quick, I think, aren't we? Yup, this is filled up. Well, this is filled up. This will fill up very quickly. But it does look good. In the morning, sunlight. Wonderful. I'm so pleased we did alright with those silage bales, you know. There were a few things that could have gone horribly wrong. One being the bale collecting. I was really worried about that, so I'm glad that worked as well as it did. Can we make this turn, do you reckon? Or do I need to stop and turn? Let's see if we can make the turn. Yep, we're alright. So yeah, I mean, that could have been disastrous. Then the kind of loading everything into the digesters at the two different BGAs. Again, the processing speed of the BGAs really helped. I've been on certain farms where it's taken like all day. I've had stacks of silage bales or silage to do, and it just takes so long to process. It just chugs away and chugs away and chugs away. So that was fairly quick. So all those things kind of worked in our favour. Would it be nice to make more money? Of course it would have done. You know, some of the farms I've worked on, BGAs have paid out 900, 1,000. I remember up in Scotland on Lawfolds, I think it was paying something like 2,500 for 1,000 litres of silage. It was madness. So I mean, that was monster money. Prices have fallen since then. You don't make anywhere near that kind of money. I'm going around the field the wrong way again, and I've just suddenly realised the pipes on the inside should be on the outside. So once we've done a full round, I'll swing it round. We'll come back the other way. That way, once we are full, we can unload properly. I mean, to be fair, if I get Stuart on this, potentially we could end up filled up on the wrong side. It depends. If I'm off hauling, and you know how it happens. I have also been. Again, I talked about JCB in the previous episode. Potentially, I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but I've also been told, again, there's a potential, don't know, the cow farm that we don't own, we don't have any cows, they are well, they buy digestate. They use it quite a lot for field work and stuff, because the animals are constantly producing, their cows produce manure. They sell the manure at the BGA, the byproduct being digestate. They have got a supply chain for digestate, so potentially we could work out a deal with the cow farm, because we've got a load of digestate to shift. Now we can either use it as fertiliser, which means then we're going to have to get some machinery to utilise that, or we could just offload the digestate. So again, potentially we'll have to give them a bell or drive over. I've got a job over that way at any point. Maybe we'll pop in and have a word and just see if they can take the digestate off our hands. That's, again, it's all about the community. We're coming together, working together, you know, bartering, trading, haggling. You know, if you can work out a deal with somebody, they've got something you want, or you know, you know what I mean. Just completely lost my thread then, but yeah. Okay, so a complete round, 4,000 litres. That's not bad at all. Another day and we are off and running before 7 in the morning. Got a funny feeling it's going to be another long day. They all are. I have been watching, and thank you to Big Daddy. Big Daddy recommended I watch Cole the Corn Star, because I watch a few different MN Millennial Farmer, Zach. I watch the Welker Farmers boys, Nick and Scott. I watch How Farms Work with Ryan Custer and the Custer family. And I saw on one of their videos, I mentioned it a while ago, there was a whole load of them. Was it Andy the Armless Farmer? Is it Andy? There was a whole load of them at a big farm show. I think the Welker Farmers boys had travelled quite a long way. I don't know if they flew there, I can't remember now. and Cole the corn star was there. Young kid, you know, I didn't really think anything of it. So Big Daddy said, oh, you know, if you like watching different farming things, give them a look and see what you think. So I went back to the very start, and I always go back, if I find a new YouTuber, I go back to the very first video and I watch everything. I'll go through right, because I love watching the progression of a channel, of the person, of the farm, whatever it is they're doing, just to kind of see where they started out from and how they go. Absolutely brilliant. I love it. It's such a good, fantastic channel. If you don't watch it, go and check it out, go and subscribe. His channel blew up, I mean massively. He hit 10,000 subscribers within something like 10 videos. I mean, it was a very few videos and he hit 10,000. I think he's up over 340,000 subscribers now, and as far as I can tell, I've only gone back, I can only go back as far as just over a year that he's been doing videos for. But this kid, I know that sounds really patronising, I'm 46, he's 21, so he's a kid. He's probably 22 now, but when he started out he was 21 years old. His work ethic is off the chain. The kid's a grafter. You know, farm families, generally speaking, are. There's no downtime. You're always working. You know, they very rarely get holidays and that kind of thing. But if you haven't watched any of his stuff, watch it. I think that's the one thing I've taken away from it. Apart from the fact he's incredibly funny and what the stuff he does, he's brilliant and he's smart, and I really love the humour involved in everything he does. But what I've taken more from it is his work ethic is incredible. For a young lad, and my experience of youngsters generally speaking in the various different environments that I've worked with youngsters, including my own, they can be a lazy bunch. Let's be honest, they can be, and that's not all of them. If you're young and you're watching and you have a very strong and good work ethic, good on you. That's absolutely fantastic. I've tried to instill it in my kids, and for the most part they work hard at certain things. They do tend to pick and choose what they work hard at, but you know, you can only do your best as a parent, can't you? But yeah, and it's great because his dad is far more involved in the videos now, and that's been a fantastic progression. You know, I know from my own channel, and as I've kind of moved on and done various different things, and I hope my editing has improved and the way I do my videos and that kind of thing. Looking back at my first videos, I kind of cringe. He kind of started off and he was just using his phone, and you had like it upright with black bars either side, and it was very short, very, you know, seeing the progression of him as a YouTuber, I would say performer, but I think it's just him being him, you know, is amazing. So yeah, check him out, Cole the Corn Star. Anyway, I waffled enough, I've got loads more to do, so I'll see you in a bit. We'll sort out a trailer. I think we're going to have to buy one, otherwise we're going to be backwards and forwards. I did try to hook up the two trays we got together, but they wouldn't connect. I was hoping they would, but we've got the wrong connectors on the wrong ones, if that makes sense. So yeah. Oh, looks like Debbie's out of fertiliser. Might have to whiz over and fill up. Harvester is full. Debbie's been busy. Money's gone up a little bit, but that does allow for the fact we do need to get the trailer. We are going to get one. Been on the blower to the cow farm, and luckily they can take the digestate off us. Price isn't going to be fantastic, unfortunately. It's not great money, it's not going to be, but there's not a lot I can do about it. But Jeremy, that runs the cow farm, is more than happy for us to take the stuff up there, and he will take it off our hands. But on a different note, with regard to the cow farm, which is even better, they do also buy soybean, and they're offering a very good price at the moment. So potentially, whilst we'll lose out on one crop, we will gain on another. So digestate, when say lose out, digestate is a byproduct, so it's free. All the digestate we've got is free. We're not going to make huge money on it, but we are going to make some money on it. Whether that will cover the leasing cost of a tanker, I don't know. But soybean, we are going to make a mint. So I'm going to be transporting from the farm over to the cow farm today, rather than down to Linton Mill. So, trailer. I've got my eye on a trailer. Obviously, that's what I've come for. And it's this. Only 20 grand. Only 20 grand. The GreenBale, or GreenBale 1800 Pro. This is a 30,000 litre. 30,000 litre for 20 grand. I couldn't pass up a deal like that. That's amazing. I was looking at all different ones, and they'd like 21,000 litre ones, 23,000, 25,000, all 30 grand plus. A couple were around the 25 grand mark. 20 grand for 30,000 litres. That's a no-brainer. So we're all over that. Oh, that was the thing I was going to get while I was here. Sorry, completely forgot. Although Debbie will have to come and collect it. Not Debbie. Rob will have to come and collect it. We want... I say we want. He wants. He needs, because it's gone, broken, sold. I'm not too sure. We're going to get a bale shredder for him. Now, if you haven't used these before, the War Z ones, SSL skid steer loader, FL front loader, TL teleloader, telehandler. So you need the right one for the right thing. We've got front loader attachments on Rob's tractor, so we want the FL. So we're going to buy that. That comes with a little bale spike in it as well. So Rob will be able to put the bale in, shred it, and give that to the pigs, because they're getting a little bit low, plus they're getting a little bit low on crops as well, or feed. So we'll have to see what happens there. Right, over to the field. I have got stuff to clear and loads of field to do. We've only done one full load. So there's 11,500 litres, but it does mean now with this trailer, it hasn't broken the bank. Those two contracts that Debbie just did for fertilising is not far off paying for this completely. So we're going to keep ticking away on various different contracts that pop up for local farmers. And we've now got a much bigger trailer, which means we can convert Debbie's trailer back so she can use that for bales on her farm. And the EB4 that Rob's got will just be for whatever he needs around his farm. So this is going to be what we're going to use for hauling. So don't know why I came this way. Never mind. See you over the farm in a minute. Almost back. One thing I was going to say about Jeremy that runs the cow farm, he's kind of renowned around these parts as a bit of an entrepreneur. He's it's that thing, I've talked about it before, the diversification of farms and farming, where farms and farmers are looking at other and new revenue streams, things like mini biogas plants, things like farm shops, buying and selling products and produce and stuff that wasn't really considered, things like buying up digestate as a byproduct from a biogas plant. It's an interesting one. So he does digestate. You can buy manure from him as well, because his cows produce plenty of manure. That's nothing new as far as diversification. Farmers have been doing that for, you know, as long as cows have been making manure, people have been buying, selling it and trading it. But the farm shop side of things and that kind of stuff, yeah, so it's interesting. We'll have a look, we'll see what's going on. But we need to get this off and running again. I just think if we can get a better price for the soybean, we'll take it where we can get it. Linton's paying 1.6, but up at his farm shop he's paying over 2,000, which is amazing. But it's kind of what I was talking about the other day. Well, a little bit. It's not really, but the rant I was having the other day. It's the word. I'm going to have a rant now. Sorry. It's the word artisan. It drives me up the wall. It drives me absolutely bonkers. Things that are artisan, and I get it, and there are things that are artisan. An artisan, generally speaking, is a person that's skilled and professional generally speaking, it always used to be using their hands, but that's not necessarily just the case anymore. So it was that kind of an artisan was someone who'd learnt their craft and mastered it, maybe for being an apprentice for years and that kind of thing, you know. And it was bespoke, handmade stuff. So basically, things that are handmade. In the generations that followed, where things then were mass-produced, big manufacturing plants, machinery, automation, robotics, and that kind of thing, things drifted away from that. There's a move back, and there has been for a few years now, of artisan products, craft beers, all those kind of things, where it's small batch, smaller made, more handcrafted, more hands-on. Basically, it just means handmade at the end of the day, not mass-produced. But weirdly enough, if you stick the word artisan on anything, the price doubles and triples. It's weird, isn't it, how that happens? It's kind of when I was talking about the wine the other day, on, what was that, on whichever map I was talking about it on. And it is that artificial raising of price. Some of it driven by economics, because you've got no choice, because the time you've put in and the effort, and by doing it by hand and you're not mass producing, you need to recover your money and make money doing it. And I totally understand that concept, but it frustrates me, especially when you get places where it's kind of semi-automated. You get like artisan bakeries. A true artisan bakery is where they're making each loaf by hand, and it's like true artisan. When you've got a bit of automation, a few machines and stuff, I personally don't consider that artisan. I don't. But yeah, it's that weird thing, isn't it? And I suppose a farm shop isn't necessarily artisan unless something's been made. But you know, well, no, it's a difficult one to quantify, isn't it? But it's one of those things. It's just one of my bugbears in life. My wife will tell you, if I go anywhere and you see the word artisan, bespoke, I don't mind. That's fine. Handmade, no problem at all with that. It's just that word. It just seems a little bit poncy too, and I apologise if you're watching and you make any kind of artisan products and you use the word artisan in anything for you selling your products. I do apologise, but that's just how I feel about it. And I suppose it does sound a little bit better than handmade. People think, oh, handmade, you know, they just bodge that together in the garage kind of thing. So I suppose artisan implies a higher quality, doesn't it? But there you go, rant over. There you go, that's today's rant. You can have that one for free. So, I've got a load more to do. Once I've got a full load, we'll head over to the cow farm and we'll see what's occurring over there. I'm probably going to get Stuart on this. I'm going to do some. Now, something worth noting, and it's not really following a narrative, you know, storytelling, which is kind of the route I'm going down with this. I tried to throw in other bits as well, and it's difficult to stick completely narrative, where everything is just focused completely in the story, and then trying to impart wisdom and knowledge and advice, and you know, not that I'm necessarily any good at that. And I've been, as you've probably seen, I've been going around these telegraph poles and stuff like that when I've been spraying, when I've been planting, and also now when I'm harvesting. That being said, they don't have collisions on them. So if you set a worker, or if you do it yourself, you can actually drive straight over those and you don't hit anything. There's no impact. The fences do, the hedges don't. You can drive through some of these hedges. They're quite sparsely grown. Fences and walls, no. But yeah, these telegraph poles, whilst they may seem like an irritant, in all honesty, you can avoid that. I don't know what we're going to do, what we're going to get, but I'm going to try my best to straighten this all up. And then maybe get a worker on it. I'm going to keep an eye on the contracts list to see if there's any local jobs, because if I can have someone working here and I can be off doing something else, it makes perfect sense, you know, with multitasking as a farm. And if we can make maximum profit over the course of a day, of course that's what we're going to do. There are loads of baling jobs, but I don't want to go down that route because I've done enough. I've got a load more baling to do, but as far as making silage bales go, I don't want to touch those for a while now. I'm done. As you could probably imagine, I am trying to work out just how many bales we're going to do for hay for pelletizing, because we can get quite a lot of pellets and pallets of pellets, pallets, from a fairly few amount of, oh, I'm not making any sense, a fairly few bales, anyway. So with the straw bales we've got already and then some hay bales, we are going to be doing some pelleting. We are going to be making some money doing that at some point, but I want to get this harvest done first. Oh, that's the other purchase. There's another purchase I need to make. We are going to be getting the Agramash BM75, which in essence will give us free fertiliser. We are running lower, we're down to about 17,000 litres of fertiliser left, liquid fertiliser left. That's going to keep us going for a little while, but again, if I know I can stick a worker on a field with the BM75 and it's not going to run out of fertiliser, because it won't run out of fertiliser, I don't know what to say, I don't need to worry. So yeah, that's where we're at. Sorry, I've talked way too much again. I'm just conscious of time and I need to get all these done. So. Field 32 and 33 are almost complete. I've got a full load of 30,000, the harvest is full again, and we are now coming up on Jeremy's cow farm. So we are over on the eastern side of the map. Our farm's way over there, with the sheep farm between us and home farm. Oh, this is a lovely, lovely bit of the world. So this is what I was talking about, the diversification. So they've got a little farm shop set up, and then there's manure and all sorts of stuff. This is where I'm going to be selling the soybean to while we're here. Load the trailer with strap down bits. Oh, Steyr 9270. That's the 267 horsepower job. That's really nice, that. Skid steer loader. So, dairy operation. So, they've got a few cows going on, and then through here I have been told, there we go, so manure, so we can buy manure, and then that's where the digestate can be sold. So they take the digestate off your hands, that gets stored in tanks, then they use that, I assume, for field work and various different things, or they may well sell it on as a kind of intermediary. I don't know how that works, but so yeah, so this is Jeremy's cow farm. I mean, I don't know how much business we'll do with them in the future, but I think opening up communication and doing a little bit, bringing the digestate, that will happen in another episode, of course. We need to bring all the digestate from the silage production over, and we'll sell that here to Jeremy. But for the time being, let's sell soybean. Not quite sure the best way around doing this. Let's swing around in front and then. Oh, there we go. Oh, it's always nice when that figure goes up really quickly in the top right. That's when you know you're making money. So 30,000 litres will equate to 74 grand. Wow. That's nice. Another full load like that will not go amiss. So we've got, once we've done field 32, it's over to field 15, which is another big field. Then we've got field 78 down by the pigs. So that's where we're going to next. That's alright, that. Pleased, very pleased. Someone nice to trade with, someone new to trade with. Don't really want to have cows myself, I don't think, but if we can help out with anything with the cows, that's probably not a bad idea, is it? Oh, we have got wool to sell. Do they buy wool at the farm shop? I have to check that, because obviously Debbie's got wool. Anyway, I've got more to do, so let's get the rest of these fields done, get the next load over, and we'll just carry on. When anyone asks me what I've been doing today, I say I've been clearing debts. No? Okay. Okay, second load of 30,000 litres. We are now over onto field 15. As you've already seen from the couple of little clips, the War Z has been collected. Rob is sorting out the pigs. Debbie is keeping up with, right up behind the harvester, with our first spray. We'll probably seed, then do another pre-emergent spray, I guess. What we've also found is going into the contracts, we've had a couple more fertilising contracts come on. So the two fields we did previously, field 109 and field 115, have just come back on again for another fertilising. So we've accepted the contract on field 115. Once we're done with our fields, we'll get straight back on that as well, and we'll keep plugging away. As far as replanting goes, some will be soybean, but Rob is concerned about feed for the pigs. So potentially we may put one field, maybe two over, maybe one to wheat or barley, maybe a small one, maybe actually the field over by the pig farm, Rob's field, put that on for corn maybe. Just, you know, I say it's just different ideas. We're trying to work out the best way of doing it, because we're going to turn and burn on these crops. You know, we know we can make good money on soybean here, so we do some soybean and some the rest. That's good. I reckon between what we've got left and field 78, I don't know if we're going to get another 30,000 litres. I hope so. And then it'll be another big chunk off the loan. We could get the loan below $1 million. We're on, what are we on, 1.14 at the moment or something? I'm pretty sure 1.1, just over 1.1 million. We could get it below $1 million, which is absolutely fantastic. We haven't even touched pelletising, we haven't touched lumber yet, we haven't done any of the things, some of the other ways we can actually make a good bit of money. So we're doing alright, we're doing okay. I may actually ask to use Jeremy's tractor at some point, because that's got a lot more horsepower. This is only 159 horsepower. This is a 1990s JCB. It's only 159 horsepower, but it does shift, and it does well, and it pulls well. And like I say, we may have enough from JCB, but potentially, if we've got an option to use Jeremy's, I'm just thinking for like mowing and tedding or something at the same time, maybe just having enough power to do all of it, you know. Or run a mower and baler, which we were struggling to do on the JCB last time. With a slightly higher horsepower tractor, that might be a little bit easier. Again, it's all irons in the fire. These are trade partners. We're creating trade partners. That's kind of part of the plan. Okay, field 78 is complete. We did a third load, that went, so it's 90,000 litres, and then what we've got in here, so 98,185 litres. I think this trade partnership with the dairy farm is going to be very productive. Now, if you're at all annoyed or frustrated, or you know, you're going to take the best price you can get wherever you can get it. That's kind of a given. But you will also see that when I sell the digestate, we're going to make next to nothing on that. So it kind of swings around abouts, it ebbs and flows, you know. That price will also fluctuate. We just had to do a bit of a rolling repair on the harvester. Parts 695 quid in field. The header has got to need some work. And I've checked, but nothing seems to need anything yet. But when we get back to the yard, we'll have a look in the workshop, because I'm convinced that's going to need something. Let's fold that away. Debbie is... Where's Debbie gone? Right, I'm in the way. I told you, keep him right up behind us. Alright, alright, Gary. Let me move. Thank you. Relax. So, last 8,185 litres going in. We are going to need to lease a different seeder, or we're going to need to do a planter. If we are going to put corn in here for Rob, for the pigs, yeah, we are going to need to get it, because we've got a seeder, not a planter, so we're going to need something. I'm going to whiz over to the cow farm. We'll take this last load, and that should be the last bit, I think. As far as haymaking goes, the digestate we're going to bring over, the pelleting will be happening fairly soon, I reckon. But, again, I have been warned I need to be careful about balers with regards to the pelleting process. I don't know if the straw bales we've got at the moment will work, so what I might need to do is a test with those. If that works, carry on with our baler. If it doesn't, before I go doing 100 odd hay bales or whatever we're going to end up doing, we'll do the test, because if it doesn't work, we may need to lease a specialist baler. But we'll see. Again, that will be pricey, but hopefully we'll make money out the other end of it. So who knows? Who knows? Right, off to the dairy. So as we drive up the driveway, it's 10 past 12. If you remember, we started just before 7 again. It's been another long day. Well, a long morning. It's yeah, it's been full on. It's taken a while to do that. A lot longer than I thought it was going to, in all honesty. But this last little bit as we put this in into the TARDIS shed. 20 grand. Fantastic. We are going to pay off, or I'm going to pay off for them, or whichever way around, another 200,000, which will bring our balance to 224. I'm keeping hold of the 24. I could pay off another sort of bigger chunk or whatever, but we're going to leave 224 in the bank. One, because we do need to buy another piece of equipment that I will get at some point soon. I've talked about a few times the Yagramash, but we've still got spray, so we're okay at the moment. The other is I'm concerned about having to lease specialist equipment, which potentially we may need to for the next baling process. If we don't, then we'll pay some more off. It's not a problem, but I'd rather keep it in reserve just in case. I mean, we could pay off 300 and leave us out to 124. I just worry that that might leave us a little bit shorter than we need to be. Like I say, as we move through this process, we can just pay off bits 5 grand at a time here and there if we want to. That's not a problem. But I'd rather get some big old chunks done. So there we go. That's our first big soybean harvest done. The next planting is going to be a slight bit of kind of crop rotation. We're not going to put soybean in all of them. We are going to put some corn in, and I think we're going to put some wheat or barley into one. Probably barley, because we've done wheat already. That was what was on the fields when we started. Or was it canola? What did we have in there originally? I can't remember. But anyway, regardless, we are going to do a little bit of rotation of crops. But there's plenty more to come. We've got plenty of more money we need to pay off before we get anywhere near solvent. And if we do get anywhere near solvent, maybe we can look at some new tractors and some bits and bobs. But again, that will be something I will discuss with the farm owner. We'll see how we go. I hope you've enjoyed it. I'm loving it. I really am enjoying this one. If you have, give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do, as always. Thanks for watching.